Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back from that wonderful lunch. Your watches are not misleading you. We have 2-minute margin before 13:35 comes up, so I'm sure we'll use up that margin somewhere. So I thought I would start a little bit early. What I wanted to extend a special welcome to my friend Jun Kazeki. He is the Director General of the Cabinet Office that deals with national space policy in Japan. So to some extent a counterpart, if you will, to the Executive Secretary position of the National Space Council in the United States. In particular, from his position, you will see issues of defense, economy, science, safety, international, all coming together, which of course is also the idea behind a National Space Council. It has not been announced yet. I'm hopeful it will be for this administration, but it's still it's something that's still in work. So Kazeki-san has worked with the United States on the full range of issues affecting space policy, both in Japan, of course, and with the United States and other countries. And so he has a brief presentation to provide on that, and so I want to give him time to do that presentation where he is at, and then we'll go into some questions. I have a few questions for him, and then we'll turn over to the audience. But with that, Kazeki-san.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I will try to make you wake up in the sleepy session after the lunchtime. Yeah, actually, my name is Jun Kazeki, as introduced by Scott. Thank you for your kind introduction. I'm serving as Director General of the National Space Policy Secretariat Cabinet Office of Japan. It is a great honor to join this wonderful Prague Space Security Council once again, following last year's participation. Thank you, Roger, for having me again. And I congratulate Yana for your praise and medal of diplomatic leadership. It's great to have this conference for the long time. Now, given the increasing severe security environment as witnessed in the 3 fabulous panels this morning, I believe it is extremely timely and meaningful for stakeholders from Asia, Japan, and others, the United States and Europe, to gather here and engage in dialogue. Although our time is limited, I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak today, and I hope my remarks will contribute to our discussion. In fact, from policy to action is what I intend to do as my job. Action, 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 which I'm repeatedly saying to the audience when I meet the stakeholders. Actually, last year, I provided an overview of Japan's space policy. Today, I'm delighted to be joined on a stage by good friend Dr. Scott Pace. Therefore, we have a very sort of exciting fireside waiting. So I will keep my remarks brief and allow me more time for our fireside chat. So now let me go through the few slides to highlight Japan's recent efforts. Let me go on. First slide. Okay. Now let me begin with the evolving space environment. As space utilization expands, the risk of collisions in orbit is increasing due to the growing number of satellites and debris. At the same time, the advancement of counter-space capabilities is rapidly intensifying threats in space. The chart on the left, published regularly by NASA, shows a sharp increase in catalogued orbit objects driven by events such as China's ASAT test in 2007 and Russia's ASAT test in 2021, and the proliferation of satellite constellations. We are concerned about the lack of transparency and irresponsible behavior by certain actors. Actually, the first session this morning, a poll from Comspark articulates the risks and the actual examples of untransparent and irresponsible behavior by certain actors. The diagram on the right illustrates various counter-space threats, like GNSS jamming, spoofing, anti-satellite weapons, and cyber attacks. A recent report by CSIS, actually colleagues here, and emphasizes a growing diversity and the severity of these threats. Next slide. Okay. So in response to these challenges, Japan is taking a wide range of actions. To address intensifying threats and risks in space, it is essential to establish a robust space domain awareness (SDA) posture and enhance the resilience of space operations. Enhanced public-private collaboration is also crucial to effectively respond to evolving space security challenges. In the context of national security, the Ministry of Defense has been enhancing the space situational awareness and SDA capabilities in Japan. Japan Air Self-Defense Force began SSA SDA operations in March 2023 and will become soon, in coming years, Japan Air Space Self-Defense Force. On the public-private front, in the right, the Public-Private Council on enhancing the stability of space systems was established in October 2023. To improve the effectiveness, we conduct annual tabletop exercise. In February this year, I participated personally, of course. There are around 170 participants from government agencies and private sectors took part in the exercise. So almost all relevant stakeholders in Japan, private sectors, government officials, are all together, 170 people in presence. Next slide, please. So Japan is also implementing a wide range of initiatives to address space threats and risks. We are advancing practical efforts in technology development and rulemaking in areas such as collision prevention, SSA, debris mitigation, and remediation, and on-orbit services. In terms of technology, the commercial removal of debris demonstration CRD2 project led by JAXA and Astroscale successfully demonstrated close-range rendezvous with a piece of debris in orbit, actually 15 meters RPO operation. This mission was conducted transparently under the Space Activities Act, which our cabinet office is responsible as a regulator too. And the relevant guidelines are also abided by that actors. On the regulatory side, Japan released also the guidelines on collision avoidance with satellites in February 2025, and in February 2024, published the handbook for realizing a safe and sustainable space environment based on JAXA's operational expertise. We continue to share these efforts with the international community. Actually, thanks to the Professor Suzuki's emphasis this morning, he already emphasized the importance of those guidelines, which are probably the leading case in the world regarding the guidelines for collision avoidance or on-orbit services, which are coming from regulators themselves. Okay. And next slide, please. Pardon. Okay. Finally, let me touch on international cooperation. International discussions, particularly at the United Nations, are becoming increasingly important. A strong collaboration with allies and like-minded countries is also vital. Japan joined the Combined Space Operations CISPO initiative in December 2023, which is a good example of multilateral cooperation. CISPO, as you know, the Five Eyes, France, Italy, Germany, Norway, and Japan. So those 10 countries are sharing information under the initiative of CISPO. So that was a big decision by Japan, which entered into this initiative December 2023. So now it's ongoing, for example, in Space Symposium side chat in April last month, 2 months ago. Now, on the left side of this slide, you can see the recent development at the United Nations. In December 2022, the resolution on destructive direct ascent anti-satellite missile testing submitted by the United States, Japan, and others was adopted with support from 155 members. In December 2024, another resolution on weapons of mass destruction in outer space, jointly submitted by Japan, the United States, and Argentina, was adopted with support from 167 countries. So that was big news last December, indeed. And I acknowledged this morning there was a real threat regarding the deployment of WMD in the orbit. So on the right, we highlight our annual international symposium organized by National Space Policy Secretariat. So I saw many familiar faces here, indeed, in Tokyo. And this year, we were honored to welcome Minister Minoru Kiuchi in a video message, and Ms. Auti Holmaini, Director of NUSA, along with many distinguished panelists. And actually, next week, we will have a copious general meeting, and we are planning to represent our high-level officials, like a minister and myself and others. So that is our plan right now. So that concludes my keynote address, but of course, there are many other things. I leave other interesting issues, such as moon race, as Roger said this morning. It's a heavy issue indeed in Japan too. How can we continue to support the moon exploration? And other urgent issue, perhaps strategic autonomy. I noticed interesting discussion this morning, which I think European friends are very much keen to pursue, as Japan does in a recent policy making. So those issues could be discussed in a fiber chat, but of course there are many other questions and hard questions. I welcome Scott. So thank you for listening to my keynote speech.
This morning went on. Thank you very much for the presentation, because it shows Japan is active across military, economic, as well as diplomatic areas. The discussion is from the theme today of action, action, action. What are the most immediate pressing actions within months to less than a year is Japan confronting in space?
Yeah, that's a very important question. Actually, the first half of this year was so much progressing in Japan. In fact, in February, we had a summit meeting between Prime Minister Ishiba and President Trump in Washington. So there was a discussion regarding space. So the reference is only a civil part, but it's a good sign that the United States and Japan at least continue to support the Artemis program and the International Space Station. That was first sort of progress this year. And in May 30th, we had a headquarters meeting. Actually, my ultimate chair boss is Prime Minister Ishiba. So he held the annual meeting. It's a headquarters meeting in 30th of May. And that meeting decided the priority issues of space policy in Japan. It's ranging from security, land resilience, disaster relief, and space science, and exploration, and industry bases. So all range of issues are prioritized by Prime Minister's office this time. So that is a full mandate regarding the progress of the space policy. So that is the one good news. The another one is that just last Friday, we had the annual economic document. We say Honebuto direction. It's a kind of a hard-born document, which is the most important economic and fiscal policy document, which includes the space policy. And it says that the space policy should be strengthened. So actually, it's not rare. It's unusual to have this kind of statement regarding economic and fiscal policy document that the space policy is so important, should be strengthened. So to come back into your question, we have a very productive 6 months. The other 6 months is action. How can we enhance the cooperation with the ally and like-minded countries, in particular United States, EU, and others? How can we make a final achievement? It's both things. I would say safe and sustainable use of outer space. How can we achieve it, given the certain risks like ASAT or nuclear weapon deployment? The other, I would say, challenge would be how can we keep the growth at the same time by encouraging private sectors to invest in space sector more, because actually space area and the private sector and the government initiative are both important right now. The last 10 years, it's a huge change. It's a kind of a coexistence between private sector and government. So my job is to encourage both. We do ourselves whatever we should do, and private sector should do actions. And with partners, all range of partners, defense, of course, first one, and diplomacy, and industry side, and the technology side, and the science side. So we have to work harder, no time to stop. Yeah.
So that's a wonderful direction. So the question is, what's the thing that then worries you the most?
Well, it's of course uncertainty. Frankly, the most recent development of the scheme budget of the United States is people are worrying about it, but certain sort of, I would say, constant communication with the U.S. counterpart are very much helpful to make a future planning for ourselves. And as a government of Japan and with politicians, we have decided to continue to our policy last headquarters meeting. So if we are very much consistent, then other counterpart will be affected by us. So we are a reliable partner, and then we can continue to do so. And in order to do so, I would like to say that we have to work together with other countries, partners. Therefore, we did dialogue with EU May 15th. That was one day comprehensive sort of discussion with EU counterpart, and there was very much productive. All range of issues were discussed. Actually, Regina was there, and we had a very good discussion regarding the security part too. And with India, for example, we have a meeting with the 1st of April to how can we move forward on the space policy. So those are the, we have a worries and concerns, but at the same time, we do the partnership with other countries and also private sectors.
So I know we haven't scheduled a U.S.-Japan comprehensive dialogue discussion yet, maybe hopefully later this year, but that still is to be confirmed. What would be the number one or two issues that you would want to see included in the next U.S.-Japan comprehensive dialogue?
Well, 1, 2, a bit difficult. At least 4, 5 would be. Yeah. Actually, one thing is that how can we achieve the sort of commitment we did April 2024 between Kishida administration and Biden administration, but there is a continuation. How can we keep the Artemis program, Artemis Accords, and our commitment to the moon, and also in the case of the United States, Mars. And of course, we have a number of endorsement from the budgetary office regarding the exploration project. But if we have very good predictability from the U.S. side and also other partners, we can pour much more commitment to the moon race. And as Roger said this morning, race to moon is so much intensified, actually. So therefore, why not we move faster? That is one key issue. The other is, of course, the defense side. How can we achieve the satellite constellations on the defense side? So our target is 2027. So our priority document says that 2027 is a key date to complete our constellation satellite, which is leading to the detection or tracking or certain threats. So those are two major issues, civil and, of course, defense. But at the same time, we promote private and public partnership with other allies and other ally and partners. So industries must work to invest in rockets, satellites, and many others. So there are many other colleagues from the Japanese delegation. They are, sort of smiling, I think. So that is what I'm doing. And like if we have a US-Japan dialogue, why not we have such kind of track 1.5? Yeah.
Very good. And noting the time, is that on? Also wanted to ask if there's one or two questions from the audience I can get. Okay. And then we'll simply wrap it up at that point. And I ask that people stick around because we're going to go directly into the next session. Good God, I'm not trainable. Geez. Okay, so I was looking to see if there was any more additional questions, but noting the time, I was saying we're going directly into the next session. So no coffee break for you, but that I wanted to know if we could have thank Kazeki-san for his comments, and very much appreciate him being here.
Thank you, Scott.